this has its own magic.
Everybody, it's the Clear Vision Podcast. You got my boy Trevo,
God
my
bless.
dog Eli.
What up?
We got a guest. I made the mistake last episode of introducing somebody else's guest. Sorry, Trev.
Yes,
but,
okay. You did good though.
But you got your introduction in too. So
I did a great job.
but Eli, can you introduce our guest for today?
Man,
she's been here before.
She's been here before.
A couple times, right?
Couple times. Definitely a visionary.
There we go.
As part of the vision, So this is my wife, of course, Jozzlin Wilson, Miss Wilson over here.
Miss Wilson.
One of the queens are in the house. Of course, this is not gonna be her last episode because the queens gonna get their episode this season.
For that,
it's gonna be exciting.
Gonna be
but we have the queen in the
That'll be
house,
fun.
Miss Jozzlin Wilson, right here.
Oh, Joz, welcome to the. We don't have like I was gonna say like welcome to the. You know how like 85 South got the trap.
Right. We need to work on that.
We need a name for this.
We need to work. Welcome to the vision.
To the eye.
Welcome to the eye. Oh, that's kind of Illuminati-ish. Yeah, that's not a good look.
We'll work on the triangle.
We'll work on that.
Whoa,
We'll work on that later.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
You guys are supposed to be visionaries, so like, welcome to the eye would not be bad.
I was gonna say it's kind of dope. The eye.
It's kind of.
Praise God.
It is kind of
You
powerful.
hop in- Thank you. I thought I knew I
and then
wasn't
like
tripping.
it's kind of spiritual, depending on.
How?
What kind of
She on the
What
something.
kind of spiritual?
See,
Yeah,
that's what.
Let me just say, I think the eye is dope.
I do
This is
too.
the eye, bro. It's actually like an oval.
It
setting,
is an
like,
oval.
you know what I'm
like,
saying?
you know what?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Eye of the storm.
Hey, you know what, John? They
Is
need
it-
to hit us
oh,
up
with
on
the
that.
eye?
With the eye. Let's do it. Let's
Hey,
do it.
man, give us what y'all think, man, on that listen letter, man. Go ahead and just, let's just hop into it.
There we
You
go,
rock
there we
with
go.
the eye.
Do you
Yeah,
rock with the
we're
eye? Do
sitting
you
with
like
the
that?
eye.
Or do you have an idea for the visionaries, man?
that's
The
See,
podcast,
that's why women are important in our lives.
You feel me?
Because,
'Cause
man,
what
we
is it?
overthink things.
Yeah, we would have been arguing.
like, nah.
Yeah, we would have been talking, bro. We would have went down the whole list.
Yeah. I'm in BJ's chair right now. I gotta get right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
But Trev, where can they find us at, brother?
Of course, here at YouTube, be sure to subscribe, leave a comment, and put somebody on. All podcast stores, we are there. So wherever you listen, you'll find us.
That's facts.
Yeah.
Eli,
Yes, sir.
talk about the eye. How can they talk about the eye to us?
Man,
Is that a good one?
yeah, that's cool. Clearvisionpod@gmail.com. Hit us up on there. Give us a topic. Give us an idea of what this space should be called. The eye is in the lead right now. So
Facts.
let us know, man. What do y'all think? Is that a little too Illuminati-ish? I don't know. Who knows, man? Praise God.
Sounds powerful.
It sounds powerful. I like it too. But clearvisionpod@gmail.com. Hit us up, man.
There we go.
Crazy.
Don't forget to follow us on our Instagram at ClearVisionPod. BJ's not here. We have a Cash App. And to reach us on Cash App is Clear Vision Pod. $, Clear Vision Pod. If you like the eye, give us. I'm trying to fit BJ's
Yeah, I hear you.
shoes.
Yeah, it's hard.
What would BJ say? I don't know. Just donate to us if y'all love us. And, if you appreciate us, if you're watching, $1 don't hurt nobody, right?
Amen.
Yeah, just give us $1 or something. I don't know. Give me $1, man. Y'all remember that look? But anyway, homie therapy, man. Homie therapy.
Let me start off.
Go ahead, Eli.
Yeah, man. I've been focusing back on God. I know God never takes his focus off on me.
That's right.
But like I've been praying with more intent, mentioning my kids more in my prayer, just kind of focusing back up and shifting in this lane. I feel like I've been this past month, 2 months or 3 months, I've been in like a zone of just existing. You know what I mean? Existing well, doing good things, but I need to get my focus back on my Lord and Savior. So that's where I've been, man.
Amen.
Spiritually, I've been getting back into my spiritual realm that's comfortable for me and that I love. So makes me feel good. So I pass it to you, wifey.
Oh,
How have you been? the
Homie
past 2
therapy.
weeks? Or you can just give us an update.
Yeah, I don't know. The month of October was kind of tough.
Yeah,
So, I think this time of the year is kind of tough for me for different reasons. And I'm also pregnant, so I'm
Praise him.
like getting to the last 2 months of it.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I'm praying for a baby girl.
Yeah, man. It's like everybody's like, "Oh, you're gonna have another boy." I'm like, "Hey, y'all not." But yeah, so it's been kind of hard, and I've been trying to navigate everything that I have going on mentally with what I actually have going on in the world. And I've actually been really relieved, like super relieved. I guess God just knows that like I'm not feeling it right now, so He's just putting His hands on me, kind of covering me in that way. So even though I have had a lot of stress, I kind of got this feeling that everything's gonna be okay. So
it usually is.
Yeah.
Amen.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
I just want to give you some praise. When it comes to the moms of the world, I feel like they don't get enough praise sometimes. Like, my wife, she's a mom. I watched her go through pregnancy with a child also that she was having to raise and go through all that. And so like, it takes a lot of strength. And I know you are a strong woman. So congratulations to you guys.
You.
Congratulations to you. Definitely continue to pray for you. And you guys, definitely going to have a healthy and good delivery. For me, man, I wanted to, appreciate it. I wanted to, so I was with my grandfather yesterday. And he's 83. He's been sick for a while, like we're talking about 10, 15 years, battling a muscle dystrophy issue that really kind of just cripples him, really. And yesterday, though, he hit me. He was like, we're just catching up. It was just me and him. And I'm starting to embrace those conversations more at this stage of my life because, we don't know how many more we have of those, but it was one of the best conversations I had with him. And he was telling me the importance of Jesus, the importance of God, because he's like, if you keep living, you're gonna go through lots of pain. That's just a part of life. Like you're gonna, like with him, he has been on deathbeds and he's been, at deathbeds of his family, his brothers, his sister, and all this. And so he's like, if he did not have God or a relationship with Jesus, he would have lost hope a long time ago. Right. He's like, hope is the reason why he is still here.
Still here, yep.
And there's a lot of people that like those that don't have relationships with God or they just attaching to hope is harder for those people. And so like without hope you suffer.
Yeah.
And it was just like, bro, he was preaching to me, like, putting scriptures on me. And I was like, bro, I was like a kid. I felt like a kid again, for real. And it was just a good feeling. And I wish I would have recorded that. Every time I recommend it to, if you chopping it up with like one of your older family members, man, just record it, pop on a voice memo, press record. Cause like, that's one that I wish I just would have had in the tuck forever. But I recorded it in my head cause like it hit me, man. Cause, sometimes my faith wavers, like us all. I mean, I'm an imperfect believer, and but that really like helped shore it up some more of my faith where I needed it. He didn't even know I needed it. He was just preaching. So I just wanted to share that.
Wow,
man.
that's powerful.
Yeah, older people, bro, they have a tendency like because the shit that they have to worry about is way different than the stuff.
Bro.
That we worry about, and the stuff that's big to us, they already seen it about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, and it's all right.
Bro, picture not being able to walk for 10 years, bro.
Yeah.
Walk.
That's crazy. That's tough.
Yeah. But you go talk to him, you wouldn't even know. He's talking about Jesus.
Yeah.
If that's not power, man, I don't know what it is, But that's a little homie therapy.
Okay, I'll get into mine, man. As y'all know, I've had a pretty down couple weeks, man. It's just I'm gonna get on this pod, bro, and I'm gonna say I don't want the visionaries thinking. I know for me, I'm not a perfect person.
Right.
I may say things, that I hope to achieve in my life, that I hope to live by in my life, but by no means am I like, I'm not Jesus. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like I try my best. I make mistakes. I make them a lot. It's just, I know it's part of my journey, part of my experience on this earth. yeah, man. I mean, this past week, I woke up one morning and I had to call in to work. I was kind of upset I woke up in the morning. And that's tough for me. I've never dealt with like, a mentality like that or thoughts like that. And I kind of was mad in the morning. I woke up and I was like, fuck, why am I here still? Yeah. And so like, it was just, it's not a common thing for me.
Yeah.
Shout out to Carrie, because she stays solid, I grew up a only child with siblings. I lived in the house by myself. So getting through stuff was nothing I needed nobody for.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I just do this shit by myself.
Yeah.
And then it's interesting having somebody to be there for you. But then when they can't, it's all on you to do it yourself.
Yeah, that's heavy.
Yeah.
And I wasn't used to it. But I'm also the same kind of person that's just like, fuck it, I'll do it. Drake said, I ain't gotta do it, but fuck it, somebody gotta do it. Hey, if someone else did it, I may as well do it. Yeah. That's kind of like what I moved on to. So it's just life is interesting for me right now. Mm-hmm. It's taking it day by day.
Yeah. Amen.
Seeing what can happen, seeing what will happen. But like at the same time, I gotta stay present, man.
Yeah.
I gotta live in the moments, because regardless of regardless of everything, is there's, like you're talking about, like Jesus, God, hope, faith. Mm-hmm. Essentially, I always do everything. Sometimes it's hard to believe, like we were talking about, that it's all gonna work out. Yeah. It's easy for me to say it usually work out, but at a time when everything is falling apart,
it's tough.
You wonder what the hell good can come out of, like,
It's real.
Everything.
Yeah.
And a lot of shit been falling apart. I'm good at, like, hiding the shit. I'm good at, like, I got a poker face. I got a good poker face, because I also grew up in what's wrong with you? You should be good. You ain't got ain't nothing.
Yeah, stop looking like that.
Yeah.
Get that look out your face.
So, we master disguise.
Yeah.
And I've been a master of it, bro. I've been pretty damn good at it. Mm-hmm. It's just, sometimes, bro, it's just some things you just can't, like. I was talking to you, 2 days ago?
Right.
He was like, man, I could just hear it. Like,
yeah.
So, but we're going to get through this pod,
yeah, man. No, this is what homie therapy is about. This is what homie therapy is about.
And we definitely relate with you, man. We've all been there. We've all know we're definitely not perfect. Like, this podcast is for betterment. We're all trying to be better, and we're still human at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things, even as a believer, I've been in church my entire life, but there's so many times and moments in life where I feel like I don't deserve his grace, or I don't deserve to wake up in the morning, so feeling like you don't deserve whatever it is out of life or whatever it is from the higher power, it's normal, bro, and it happens, And
I'm glad you're talking about it, bro. Mm-hmm. I think that's one
healthy.
Beautiful thing that we do here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're men that's just vulnerable. Right?
Yeah.
And we're trying to get better. That's it.
Yeah.
And I like what you said. Like, you're not Jesus, bro. You're not perfect.
Yeah.
Because I do think sometimes people with podcasts, bro, they just think like, what I say is what it is. Nah, it's just your perspective. We're just trying to get better like everybody else that's listening. So.
I just want to achieve, like, it's just getting better, man, with everything. All of us is like, one thing we know, if we're not good at something, we're not just people that just quit because we're not good.
Progress.
So like progress, we're like it's kind of like been something since we was young.
Yeah.
We're like addicted to kind of getting better. Yeah, progress.
That's the word.
That's the word. That's a good one. Yeah. So
absolutely.
Again, nobody on this podcast. I look up to y'all, man. I'll be honest.
Same.
And so like it's just I say I'm not perfect, but in my eyes, bro, like I'm such a like I'm a friend that gets attached like emotionally to my friends. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we don't have any physical, you know.
I mean, we can.
There we go. Hold on, y'all. But you know, I get attached. Like I get attached to y'all.
Yeah.
So like it's like
absolutely.
it's. I forgot where I was going with it.
Yeah.
But I see the good in everybody, right?
Yeah.
But for some reason, bro, I can only hold on to some of the worst in me. You know what I'm saying?
That's me too, man. That's
You know what I'm
I do
saying?
the same thing.
And so, like I said, like this podcast, we're trying to progress. I may say what Will Smith should have did, and I may 100% believe in that.
Mm.
But if I'm Will Smith in that moment, I might have did something worse than he did. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. That's the hard part. Is like translating what you should. God said, "Be angry and sin not." We know what it say, and we know what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But you know,
still make mistakes, man. That's what happens, man.
Didn't Jesus tell Peter, "You was gonna deny me 3 times"?
Mm-hmm.
And Peter said, "No, I'm not. No, I'm not."
Mm-hmm.
And it came down to it. He asked him 3 times. He said, "No, I don't know this man."
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's so cold. I read a children's book with that story to Jaden the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Power.
Amen.
So I just had to say, we know what we're supposed to do. Sometimes it's hard to. Sometimes it's tough to do it.
Stay on track. Yep.
Yeah, but
Amen.
we could go ahead and move to the topic, Eli. If you want to go ahead and deliver that to us.
I'll go ahead and lay it up. I mean, even in your story, you know, we talk about traumas. You know, traumas as kids. You know, him having to hide his emotions. All of us having to hide our emotions, whether you're was a boy or a girl. You know, there's situations where you just kind of have to hide your emotions and things like that. But today's topic is, are we parenting out of fear? You know, is my trauma your trauma as far as our kids? Are we making our past trauma part of our kids' trauma? And the reason why this topic popped up, I just kind of give my example. I think a lot and analyze a lot as far as what kind of parent I'm going to be now and in the future. Mm-hmm. And so we spoke about it in last season. I was just so stuck on one of the examples. Our kids should be out the house by 18, you know, because that's just what I've been told. And that's just like the way of life from what I viewed when I was a kid and, you know, my family and upbringing. And then another example that, you know, I used to tell Joz all the time, well, the kids need to work. They need to like have a jobs and go to school. Like when they're in high school, like if they want these things, well, they have to work and go to school so that they can be prepared for the world and be prepared to do 2 things at once or 3 things at once and, you know, have, you know, focus on life, which are good, you know, life skills. But then I thought to myself, I was like, but why? Why am I so? Because our plan is for when our kids go to college, they don't have to work. So why am I so stuck? Why wouldn't I let them just, you know, be them at their greatest at that age? Like, why am I so stuck on they have to know how to, you know, remove her and work and go to school and play sports and all these things? And then I thought to myself, I was like, I'm preparing them to, just in case they struggle. That was my thought process. So just in case they have to struggle, I was preparing them to be able to survive and thrive while struggling. Right. But then I was so stuck on it. I'm like, or am I preparing my kids to struggle? Am I putting a struggle mentality on my kids? So I was like, man, I need to prepare them to be like us, like everybody else. But then I thought to myself, am I preparing Kai to be a normal citizen? Or am I preparing Kai to be the greatest Kai that he can be? Right. Meaning like, Kai, you're going to have these skills and these things because this is what normal people deal with every day. But then there's people that, like Kanye West, was taught something different and preached something different, that you're special and you don't have to do what everybody else do because you're going to do whatever you want to do. Mm-hmm. Right. You're going to be successful and you're going to, you know what I mean? So I was kind of putting my past traumas and what I was taught on just being normal or being a normal citizen is okay, which it is okay, but that doesn't have to be the life for my children if they want more. Yeah. You know? So too many times the parents are the first people our kids love. And we're also the first people to knock our kids' dreams away. tear their dreams down. Like, oh, son, I don't think you can do. No, son, you need to, I don't, anytime our kids tell us that they want to be something, the parents are the first people to tear their dreams down. So, and then it's deeper, it goes deeper. But like I said, we're doing facts on this show or on this podcast. And I have a couple of, not really facts, but more of Disney related quotes to real life of parents parenting out of fear and putting trauma on their kids. So number one, I have Marlin promises Nemo that he will never let anything happen to him. Now, if you've seen Finding Nemo, you know why, because, in the beginning, he lost his mom in a fight with a fish or whatever. And he had a little fin messed up, and he was basically, he didn't want him to go to school. He was like, oh, you can wait till next year. He didn't want to do anything because he was just so afraid of losing them.
Right.
So all of these examples are examples of parents trying to be good parents, but they're parenting out of fear.
Yeah.
And they're going to eventually, hold down and it's going to hurt their child.
Yeah.
Number two, Coco. If you've seen the movie Coco, Coco's grandmother forbids
That's a real good movie.
music from the entire family. Yeah. From the entire family. No music because of what she believes music done and separated their family when they were kids. You know what I mean? And now their family can't do what they love in life because of one incident from a past experience, from past
That was
trauma.
wrong.
Yeah, right? And then
That was completely wrong.
It was completely wrong. Number three, Zootopia. This is one of my, and these are, like I said, I have kids and we love Disney, so Disney's the way to go. And some of this, one of them is not Disney, but Zootopia, Judy Hopps. If y'all seen that movie, her parents are preaching settling to her because they believe her dreams are too big. There's never been a bunny cop before, and they don't want her to fail. They was like, if you settle, you will never fail. Yeah. That's what they were preaching to her as a child, as a baby. But thank God Judy had this, she just ignored the crap out of her parents, because she was her self-motivator, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So her parents were preaching to her that, like, settling is okay because you'll never fail,
Yeah.
So they were so scared of her failing. They was like, you should just settle. You should just be a bunny farmer like the rest of us, a carrot farmer.
Yeah.
4, of course, Master Splinter, and preaching to the turtles that all humans are bad because of his past experience, which wasn't true. Now, we understand why he was keeping them away because they were mutants or whatever, but,
talking turtles.
Yeah. They were turtles,
I can't blame him for that.
I can't blame him for that, but all humans aren't bad, is the thing we're getting at. So,
yeah, what you doing to talking turtle pull up together?
Oh, man, I'm like, what the, it's crazy. That was a smart rat. I get it.
He actually ends up being right. Like, they get milk.
Yeah, they get milk. Yeah. Actually, and which is good, which is why, we're going to go to the good side of it, of parenting with fear. So number 5, Malin Lee's mom, and this is the last one, from Red Panda, or Turning Red. I'm sorry, that's what my kids call it. They call it Red Panda. Malin Lee's mom being extremely hard on her daughter because she's looking for her mother's approval, the grandmother's approval. And if you've seen that movie, you just understand that one. But basically, yeah, so I wanted to ask the podcast today, do you guys already have examples of things you might be doing as far as parenting with fear that you're already bringing on your kids as little ones, or do you guys already have some plans in the future that you're like, yeah, my kids are going to do this, or my kids are not going to do this. My kids can't play football because of my past experience, or my kids can't, Kai, if he's like, I want to be the best skater in the world, I'm like, Kai, black people don't skate, or, there's not too many, there's no money in that. Like, you know what I mean? So do you guys have any examples that you've already experienced?
Of trauma or fear?
Both.
There's certain hairstyles I'm like, nah, okay, I don't need to wear that. That look a little girly. Is that
Well, more in the sense of the homework thing. The homework example that we were kind of talking about off camera. Mm-hmm. Jaws brought up and my brother, we were talking, last week, and he was like, one of the most traumatizing things. He didn't feel safe in the house because of how crazy, my mom would go on us about homework and basically just yelling at us crazy and threatening us if we don't get, a certain number or a certain question right, or they don't understand why we don't know this question, Yeah. Trauma's like that, basically.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Trying to think, man. Trev, you go ahead real quick.
Yeah, so I'll start with when I was coming up as a child. Mm-hmm. So I think trauma, it's hard for me to use that word because, one specific example of mine with my parents, and I wouldn't call it traumatic, but it was just something that they felt strongly about, was my music.
Mm-hmm.
And, because I was rapping at 12, 13. So, like, they had a little rapper. And so, like, when they would ask me what I wanted to be, I'm like, I'm going to be a rapper, like, straight up. And so, like, it was more of they wanted to make sure that I could thrive in society.
Right.
And so they, of course, they were big on education, going to college and focusing on studies, not really big into music and rap like that. And so, like, I missed, primarily from my dad, but because my mom, she would say, boy, like, you should not be rapping, but then I'd be hearing her listen to my music. And, she would, like, really rock with me. But she's like, why are you talking like that at 12, 13 years old? Like, what are you talking about? It was a hesitant support of something that I really, really wanted to be and wanted to do. But because they had their own agenda of what they wanted for us, which was to go to school and, get your degree, make sure that you have a plan A is what was preached to me. Plan A should be this. It should be, because, like, my mom and dad, they didn't go to college, right? So they had to really grind through different jobs to get to where they were. And they're like, I don't want to see you go through this. And my dad would tell me, like, son, because my dad's a mailman. So, like, he's out there in the snow, ice, in the heat, struggling. He's like, son, get you a job where you don't got to be out in the elements. He kept telling me that. Like, you want to be, inside somewhere. And he would push that. And so, like, with music, they just didn't take it serious. Like, they didn't support it. And so, like, I wouldn't say that traumatized me, but that was...
Trevi was good enough, bro. He could have got something. He could have been the next little Bow Wow.
Bro, I was cold. I'm telling you, I was cold, but
he's better than Bow Wow.
Again, what I've learned...
Oh, you talking about at 12?
At 12.
Oh, okay, got you. Okay,
but
Bow Wow was cold.
I will say this.
Little Bow Wow.
Parents, man, especially my parents, I didn't have a lot of trauma from them. They did the best that they knew how to do. Yeah. Both of them. Like, they were just good parents. And looking back on it, and this is something I'm praying through, because Jay pops up and he's 13, he's rapping. He's like, Daddy, I want to rap. I want to be like you. I want to rap. And I listen to his music, and he talking about getting hoes. I mean, I don't know how I wouldn't. I'm praying through it because I wouldn't do it differently than how my dad did. Because my dad didn't even play it. He's like, oh, boy, no, like, what you doing? Even to this day, like, my dad's still like, I see you rapping, son, but how's your job? And so, like, I do think it's complex, but
it is complex for sure.
With your kids, you got to be aware with what they really want to do. Yeah, like right now, Jaden, he's always trying to grab my camera and take pictures, like always. Like we have a little Polaroid camera, so he's like always taking pictures. So, like, I'm seeing, like, okay, he has an interest in photography. Mm-hmm. So, like, for Christmas, hope he don't listen to this, I'm gonna get him a little kids camera. Yeah. So yeah, I would say just really. My trauma was centered around supporting what your kid really likes.
I hear you.
So
yeah.
John, do you have anything right now?
Ram Dass, he's a spiritual. His name is Ram Dass. He studied under this guru named Neem Karoli Baba, in India. So, but Ram Dass said, your parents, and don't take it literally, but he says your parents grow up thinking they're somebody, right? We're somebody, obviously, but in the grand scheme of things, we're really, just a speck in this universe. But he said we grow up thinking we're somebody, and then so we do our kids the same way. We grow up to make them somebody.
Right.
Then when they become somebody and they learn the rules of society, we try to make them somebody special. Mm-hmm. We try to make them somebody special from our point of view what special is.
Right. That's real.
Mm-hmm. And we forget. We don't know. Mm-hmm. We don't ask them, like you're talking about the photography. That might be special to him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know y'all seen that. There's a little kid, and he was taking pictures of, like, the NBA players at, like, media day and stuff. And, like, he was getting paid for it. He's probably like 8, 9.
Yeah, that's cold.
You know, but they said they don't know what it is, but it's something about his pictures and the way he takes them.
That's cold. Bro, Jaden takes good pictures. I'm not even capping right now.
Yeah.
I gotta show you the Polaroids.
You gotta show me.
This nigga got some good pictures, bro. That's why I'm getting the camera.
Yeah.
Because at first I'm like, okay. But then I'm like, that would be cold, bro.
Yeah. And I mean, I kind of relate to that because I was a dude that tried a whole lot of different things. As y'all know, I do the editing for our podcast. But I've been editing since Windows Movie Maker.
Come on.
When we was in 6th grade.
Yeah.
I used to upload videos on YouTube. Me, Kmart, Michael Colston. We used to always we used to compete about like our videos. This is in 6th grade before you could get paid on YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube is just dropped.
Yeah.
I imagine, bro. I imagine if I never stopped and I got kind of like some support, like
that this is what I want to do
in 6th grade.
Give me the skills that I need. Yeah.
Well, how old are we? What, 11?
Yeah, 11 or 10.
10 decades.
I would have been
It'd be crazy.
I would have been 10 years in on YouTube by now. Doing what?
I would have transitioned to actual like movie making.
You know what I'm saying?
Production.
But in those things we gotta but
and I think nowadays it's easier for us to be like, do what you want because there's way more way more different ways to get paid to the highest dollar now. Back in the day, social media has really made it to where you can really do whatever you want and
it's just so much access.
Access. I mean, you can do anything now. Yeah. And so I get and understand why our parents and their parents was like, nah, bro, you need to get a warehouse job, you know, because this is all we got, you know what I mean? Or especially depending on where you live, you know
That's
what I
what
mean?
I'm saying. They just did the best they could.
Yeah. Jazzy J, you got anything for us?
Yeah, so I'm so sorry.
You are good. She's a busy woman.
That's crazy because my phone never rings, y'all. I swear to God. No one ever calls me. I'm so sorry.
You're good.
No, so 110%. I think it comes with the trauma aspect. It definitely comes from like your financial background, sometimes your racial background.
Yeah.
I know we were all just talking about like that Black trauma moment where you're like trying to get help with your homework and you're like, I don't think I'm gonna make it through this piece of paper. Like, you know,
all night.
Right. I actually remember. It's so crazy because I remember. For some reason, I didn't like reading in front of people. It's not that I couldn't.
Me too, yeah.
But so my teacher kind of like wrote a note home and she sent it and my mom's like, why are you not reading? And I'm like, I am reading. And then she's like, okay, so read. And I'm like, oh. So then you're like a kid and you're like, why are you reading it like that? Like, no, this is how you're supposed to you animate yourself. And I'm like,
animate.
I know exactly what she's talking about, but now I'm so scared and I'm like, I don't want to do it.
Yeah, that's real.
You know, like, and it's like, for what, I don't know why, but it's like, especially like Black moms, you get the look, you get the threats.
Mm-hmm. Wait. What's the threats like? I'm just curious. Because my dad, you know, he's the one that raised me, so I don't know what the Black mom.
She got the eyes. Her mom got the threats. Man.
Yeah,
it's everything.
My mom's a little hood for everybody that doesn't know. Right? So,
have I met your mother? I don't think so.
I don't think you've ever met my mom, Trey.
Yeah,
she's a lovely lady. She's the sweetest person you'll probably ever meet. But there's another side to my mom that a lot of people.
She's got a
my dad went to high school.
Switch she can flip.
My dad went to high school with. That's why I know about it.
Yeah, one time.
Yeah, me and John have known each other since diapers.
Longer than me. Long time.
Yeah.
One time I was at their house and her mom told the kids, what did she said, if y'all don't do this, I'm gonna rip your kneecaps out your legs. Like that's just one of the examples.
They stopped too, like,
she said, I'm gonna rip your kneecaps out your legs.
Like, y'all see Everybody Hates Chris, right?
Yes. One of my favorite shows.
Yes, her mom.
Okay. That's my mom.
Okay.
Except like she actually cussed at us.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my mom without the cussing. That's the same thing. That's my mom without the cussing.
Like I feel
Rochelle,
like
ain't that her name?
Rochelle. Like I had Rochelle as a mom.
Right.
So like I'm like sitting there, I'm like terrified. I'm like, I'm about to get a whooping because like I'm too shy to read, and now she's telling me like I have to read.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, but I don't want to read because now I'm scared.
Yeah, and I'm about to get a whooping. Now, all I can think about is this whooping that I'm about to get.
So in that moment, though, I got a question because we gotta. What would you have done different if you was your mom?
Knowing that I had those moments with my mom, because it wasn't just that moment, especially like with things that I'm not that good at, math. Like Johnny had 10 apples, and he took 5 away. How many's left? I don't know, 5 maybe. Right. Like you're so scared because like it's not maybe it's not like what she's saying, but the way she's saying it.
Right.
Feels like she's not helping you with your homework. It feels like now you're in trouble.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
I have a question. So, and it's more of like what do you guys think, right? So I feel like in our culture, what we do is like the reason why, again, like in your scenario, whenever your mom gets a note back and she's like, Jozzlin's not reading, and so as parents, we look at our kids as like a shadow or a representation of us.
Yeah.
We put a lot of how they act on us because in our culture, we see some bad kids. We like, damn, parents ain't doing nothing. Like we really look at, we don't look at a kid like that's just a kid acting.
That happened to me at AT&T
that just
2
had
weeks
too
ago.
much sugar.
Like,
we say, man, they parents ain't on they shit.
Yeah.
And so, do we need to stop that? Because my papa even said it yesterday. He was like,
no, for sure.
Kevin
We
Hart's mom
definitely
did
need
the
to
right
stop
thing.
that.
I'm saying, is that okay? From the people saying their parents ain't doing what they need to be doing.
Yeah,
is that
for
an issue?
sure. Yeah, because I think that actually comes back from like slavery. Like we have to behave a certain way in order to be safe. And so like
That's
misbehaving in public as a Black child, that can be dangerous.
Right.
And so you're not being taught the right things at home if you're misbehaving.
Right.
But we don't necessarily have all of those same issues today.
Just let a kid be a kid.
Yeah, and we actually have more freedom to let kids be kids, but we still carry around that mentality of, hey, like...
They parents ain't doing this and that.
Yeah.
Can't be curious.
I did read that in post-traumatic slave syndrome. They said exactly that. It was like, because that Black kid's gonna see that white kid that's jumping on the furniture. Like I said, I was at the AT&T store and them kids was changing the channel. OU game was on, he was changing the channel. I was like, oh man, y'all need to get y'all kids. But
it's hard not to do that though,
I think
bro.
it's also a line too.
It is hard.
It's so hard. But I do think that leads to scenarios where now Black parents, we really overcorrect and like we're like, you go out here, you making me look bad. You know what I'm saying? When it's like, like that just adds more stress to the kid.
And I was a good student, and the teacher, you could tell, like, I was a great student, bro. Graduated 3.9, paid attention class. School was very easy for me, so it's easy for me to
goof off.
And so, what you about to say?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Jack around. Jeez.
You could jack off.
Right there in the map,
But
I was praying. It was the trauma that I've experienced, and I was like, guys, please continue the conversation. Don't stop. I'll just play. Go ahead.
But but some teachers would just be like mad that there was one teacher. I said, I'm done. She said, no, you're not. I said, yes, I am. And she was like, let me see. She took my paper. Got probably a lot of it right. Well, you need to sit over there or you're going to get kicked out of my class. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry for being done. Like, she wasn't mad that... I don't know if she was... I don't know. But I feel like sometimes teachers have bad days.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and if you have a child that's... I mean, I'm not condoning, talking in class while other kids are trying to work. Yeah. But if me, Trev, and Eli done with our work, maybe you're still not supposed to be talking. But in my eyes, it's like, we done.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe
what we supposed to do?
instead
We kids sitting in a classroom.
Still,
yeah,
like just frozen.
yeah, and then she's gonna tell your parents that John's disrupting class, and that's it. And then maybe instead of what we don't do is we don't ask our kids questions, especially when they're in trouble. We don't ask them questions, and we don't ask why did the action happen. Yeah. And so if John was to be asked, well, why was you, what was you doing, whatever. And he says, well, I got done early. Yeah. And then if he keeps saying that he got done early, then like, okay, well, maybe my son needs to be in harder classes. Or maybe, then there comes a thing, well, maybe I can make you better as a student. And
give you some extra credit,
education.
Get some work.
You know what I mean? These classes are too easy. Maybe you need to do AP, whatever it is. So
that's intentional.
But it's always,
I do want to segue kind of to a Jozzlin, right?
Yeah.
Your mom wanted you to read in front of her. Now, as fathers, on the other side, like I know our mothers are usually the comforters. Usually in like a 2-parent household, it's usually how it goes. The mom is comforter,
working in tandem.
The dad is the enforcer. Yeah. Eli, Joz, Kai comes to y'all. Hey, my teacher, or y'all get that note from Kai's teacher. Eli, is it our job as parents? You scared to read? We need to put you on public speaking because this world, we can't walk around scared. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like that, sometimes that's what you may have to be in a predicament where you got to do that. If you get to college, which, we have to do presentations. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And if you're scared to speak in front of people,
it's going to be hard for you to
It's going to be tough because college, I think every class I had, except probably math, there was a presentation, a history presentation, a speech. Yeah. So like, Is that our job? What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's our job.
What would y'all do in that situation? I guess as a 2-parent household, because your mom, was she single mom?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So I think for me, knowing that I'm like, kind of relating that our kid is a shadow of us, or, and they have things and just traits. I know that I'm dyslexic, so I'm asking Kai like, okay, are you struggling with this? I would start off with questions first. Mm-hmm. And I think if he's actually struggling and is nervous to be embarrassed, because that was my fear. Like I read in front of everybody, but that was my fear of being embarrassed, because I got embarrassed by my family. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So like, we'll just basically ask questions and break it down to, are you struggling with words? And if he's not struggling with words, then maybe let's practice reading in front of mom and dad first. And then we have to be those non-dream breakers. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We have to be prepared to not yell at him if he stumbles on the word. We have to be there for support.
Take some patience.
Yeah, patience. We have to be patient. You know what I mean?
That's the hard part.
And then, yeah, patience is crazy. And then
because it says they struggling on the. I'm like,
and if he gets better,
come on.
Then maybe we talk about. It really depends on what he wants to do in life. You know what I mean? So, if he doesn't, sometimes, you don't have a job or you don't have a career where you have to speak in front of a lot of people. You know what I mean? Sometimes you IT and you building things or something. I don't know. But maybe we have him speak in public.
IT, but he still got a present.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you. But like I said, like maybe we get there. That wouldn't be the first thing that I do, though, in a sense.
More like confidence building.
Yeah, build his confidence first, and then you're like, okay, son, so you have to read in class. You have to read in class like everyone else. But I'm not gonna sit there and tell him or text Miss Lee, his teacher, like, hey, don't have Kyle read in class because he feels like he's gonna get. I'm not gonna baby the situation,
exactly,
but better prepare my son for the situation.
Yeah. I think also something that we have to think about is like the individual. Yeah. Like, I think a lot of times where adults go wrong, not just parents, because you even said the teacher will get snappy with you. I'm a person.
Right. Yep.
I might be a kid, but I'm a person. I have my own feelings. I have my own thought process. I learn different ways. So, and just knowing that about your kid. Knowing that they might not be that good in that area, and giving them the space that they need for that. I think that's really important. I know with parenting Kai, and Khalil, I have to parent them totally different. What worked with Kai does not work with Khalil. I have 2 totally different kids at home.
Yeah.
So as far, especially as far as like the learning aspect of it, it's really like knowing your kid.
Oh yeah, the learning is different.
Yeah, that's what
they're learning the same things. And Khalil with Kai, I can tell him, no, baby, that's wrong, and then he'll be like, okay, he'll guess again. But if I tell Khalil no, that's wrong too many times, he'll stop trying. He don't want to do it anymore. Yeah. So instead of being like, what card is this? What card is this? We go one. We go over it together until he builds his confidence. And then I'm like, all right, what's this one? Do you remember this one?
Mm-hmm.
And then we celebrate the fuck out of it when he succeeds. You know
Let's
what I mean?
go. Reward.
Khalil, he thrives on reward and positivity.
That's good.
Kai thrives on negativity and talking about him. You know,
Like,
Kai misses a catch. I'm like, Kai, that was terrible. I can say that. And Kai's like, all right, daddy, let's do it again.
Yeah.
Khalil's different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's knowing your child,
I have to
man.
tell Khalil, you'll get him next time.
Yeah.
You know, so.
It's kind of like, you know, I know you watched Kadeen and DeVal, shout out to
Mm-hmm.
them. It was like, with Jackson, you could tell Jackson, you could yell at him like, hey, or no, you gotta, forget what he said. I think he said you gotta be more encouraging, like you can get on to him, but you can't go over the top.
Yeah.
But you can't baby him either. You gotta kind of be right there in the middle. But with Cairo, he said you could yell at him and all that. He gonna be like, yeah. He said with this young one, well, second youngest, he said you yell at him, he just gonna walk. He gonna drop the bike and get off.
You don't give a dang. That's
And
Khalil.
walk home.
Khalil's cast.
Yeah, that's
Khalil.
Yeah, Khalil is. Yeah. So, yeah, it's just I'm just Trev, for you, bro.
Yeah.
I'm curious about your situation because you got, you know, young Levi. Levi is
7 months.
3 years younger than
3 years, yeah.
3 years younger than Jaden.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Levi's gonna be watching Jaden and watching how you is that in your mind? I mean, I could ask y'all the same thing, but is that gonna be? Do you think about that? Like when I'm talking to Jaden, I'm essentially talking to Levi, even though Levi's not even dealing with the same stuff.
Right.
Because you could traumatize. I'm traumatized from stuff my big brother's done. I'm traumatized stuff from my big sister. Just because I've seen the repercussions, or vice versa, you know, I seen what didn't happen, and that's also could be a dangerous thing.
Yeah, I mean, I try to separate it. I think when it comes to Jaden, I'm going to whenever I'm parenting him, I don't plan on filtering anything for Levi's benefit, right? I feel like because my dad didn't do that. I mean, when he was getting on to Landon. Or parenting Landon, we were just observers, which actually helped us.
So like in front of y'all?
Yeah, in front of us, or you know, sometimes he would take him to the room. But what I'm saying is, you can learn from that as a little brother. You can learn like, oh, okay, Landon got in trouble for doing this, or Landon got praised for doing that. Like, you know, that can help you in your journey. Dion, if she was here, she would definitely agree because her sister had gotten in a lot of trouble growing up, and so she knew exactly
able to learn from
how not to be.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's probably my take. Just
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Cool.
I agree
Well,
with that.
you know, we've kind of covered that side of it. Now, there are positives to parenting with fear, or not really putting your traumas on kids, but, you know, parenting with fear. There's some things that's just dangerous, you know what I mean? And there's good things that come from it. And there's like a balance that comes with that too.
Yeah.
Because, you know, in my childhood, being around my family and being around my cousins is a reason why I am who I am today. You know what I mean? And it's a big reason. It's the reason why we moved back, you know, from Houston. Because I was like, I don't want my kids to be those cousins that's like all the way off somewhere and they don't know their cousins or whatever. But then I like come to, you know, like family, like boom, I need that, you know, because also Christianity and gospel and, you know, God came from that too.
Yeah.
So I'm like, my kids need that.
Right.
But then how am I going to react am I going to be able to let my kids go, you know, when they're 22, 23 and they want their careers off in California? And I'm like, well, but, you know, you're going to miss your this, and that, you know? So like there I am putting my wants and my values and creating it into their values, which some of those values are good. And then you have other things like, you know, staying the night over people's house, you know, what's too young, you know what I mean? So there are some good fears or parenting with fears that will keep your kids safe. So you got anything as far as something that can be positive?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I don't really know the answer to this.
Yeah.
But we push, I say we, but you know, me and you, and maybe you, we're going to push God, right, to our kids.
Oh,
Yes, I'll push God to my
Push
kids.
God, yeah. Well, in particular, Christianity. That's why I said me. You're like Christianity onto our kids, meaning like, you know, consistently going to church and, you know, believing in God and preaching the gospel and if your kid was like, I don't want to go to church. I don't want to believe in God.
Mm-hmm.
How do we navigate that?
I think that's something, man.
That's a deep one.
I think that's
a scary one.
I think it's scary, and I think that's something that we can't control, man. It's some things are just out of our hands.
But do we allow that to be out of our hands?
Well, it's nothing we can do about it. It's in God's hands.
I remember when I first talked to
because
my,
you can,
I couldn't say that to my dad, bro.
Listen, I know that. I hear you, but I tell you this. Mama had 4 boys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Only 2 of us continue to go to church, and believe what we believe.
Right.
You know, one is kind of coming back, but I'm just saying, you know what I mean? And not to say that the other 2 don't believe in God, but, you know, it's not what she implanted in us. It's not what she wanted for us. Mm-hmm. But at the same time,
it's your own journey.
The love is still there, and it's your own journy. And that's going to be hard for me to swallow and accept that, like, especially if they're like, you know. So what do you think, babe? That's
a hard question. I'm sorry.
Question.
That's what it's in my head.
I don't know. As their mom, I feel like us being Christian and going to church is extremely important to me. One of the reasons that I'm as close to God as I am is because I have my children.
Right.
Like, birthing a child is like one of the most spiritual things that you could ever go through. But it also opened me up spiritually to like a different level that I didn't know that I had until I had kids.
Here's the same thing.
Wow.
And I've christened my kids. I've already told God, like, hey, I'm going to make sure that they're yours. Yeah. And with that being said, and knowing that God is real, I don't think I'm going to let them as kids tell me
decide that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I think as adults, you are more than happy to explore and go your own way, because sometimes we need that. Yeah. Sometimes we need that just to come back to the conclusion that this was the right thing for us.
Ain't lying.
But yeah, I don't think, like, Mom, I don't want to go to church. Like, I think that would be like a real heated discussion in my household just because of that reason.
Yeah.
Because I know how important it is.
Yeah.
For my kids to have that faith.
Yeah. Because they will continue to go to church, like, especially if they're like in our house.
Yeah, you going to church.
They're going to church.
Yeah.
But I hear you. I think I would hear them out and I would ask why. Yeah. Because I have so much faith in God, He's going to find them and He's going to get back on track anyway.
That's real.
You know what I mean?
I think
so
that's how you do
it won't for me, and we'll have this conversation, but I don't want it to be a heated conversation. I want it to be a conversation of curiosity, because spirituality and the love of God is not a heated situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't want them to I believe that you can easily also turn your kids away from God.
That's where I'm going, because we're on the parenting out of fear topic, and I do think that falls in line with the reason why parents push God and church on kids, because they're fearful of the alternatives.
Yeah.
Because if you don't believe in God, you're going to worship something. Yeah. Something. You're going to have some sort of alternative to God.
Right.
Science.
But I think that comes in with like your heart, though. Like, I feel like when our kids see us go to church and see us in worship and see us in prayer, and even just like the church that you go to and the members of the church, I feel like that has a really big impact on how your kids feel. Like, do they feel safe in church?
Yeah,
do they feel that the love of Christ in church?
The Holy Spirit.
Yeah. That's true. I think that has a lot to do with it. But yeah,
it's a big responsibility because it's bigger than just taking them.
Yeah.
Being around it, you have to live it at the home. You have to, and you have to make sure that you're a good person and you're living by what you're saying. You don't just want them to be something. You have to be the example, because what if your kids don't believe in you or like you?
That's real.
Or think you're living your life. Yeah, you one way at church, but when we get home, you hit me upside the head with a beer bottle. You know what I mean? So it's our responsibility. These are real stories. I know church members that like their life is not what it is in the church or whatever.
Which pinch some nerves.
Can I give the
Go ahead.
Right, yeah.
The opinion of a kid that didn't like going to church?
Go ahead, man. Go ahead, John.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead.
Help us.
I used to go to church. My mom be like, hey, it's time to go to church. I'm like, dog, I do not want to. I didn't say it. I was like, dog, I do not want to go to church day.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to church this next Sunday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It is Sunday.
I don't feel like going. And my reason being is I like Bible study, but I didn't like the service. I like the singing of the service. I didn't like the preaching of the service. One, it was dragged out so long. Like, God damn.
It felt like 2 days.
It was dragged out so long, bro. And I'm gonna end with this one. And then an hour later,
You lying.
Black church.
You telling us not to lie. You're lying
my
right
God.
now.
And I will tell you the difference. I enjoyed white church better than black church.
Really?
One, because again, it was straight to the point.
Yeah, God is good.
It was hour long.
Praise Him.
For real. But
Yeah.
also, as a kid, I couldn't relate to nothing he's talking about. Like, I don't.
That's why children
I don't think
programs
I-
are important too.
Yeah.
That's the. I don't see the need for me being there.
Even when you were like 10 and like 11, like middle school, fifth grade,
I
fourth
got
grade.
baptized in 2006. So 2006. I was 10. But I mean, it was kind of after that.
Yeah.
I think I got baptized because I was terrified that Jesus was going to come back. Because honestly, talk about living out of fear. That's why I got baptized. I was like, dang, Jesus come back tomorrow. I'm going to hell because I ain't saved.
Yeah.
And that's a trauma thing too. Like sometimes some people get baptized out of the fear of going to hell instead of the love of God.
We may need to come back
promise.
to this topic.
Yeah, I think that is a different topic.
But it was just in my head.
That was a strong question.
But
though.
that was my reasoning for not wanting to go to
Absolutely.
church. It wasn't because I didn't want to believe in God. Because I mean, like y'all saying,
It was
the
just how church
foundation
went.
is set.
Yeah.
The foundation is set. You pray before we eat.
Pray before you sleep.
Pray before we go to sleep. Pray all that. You know what I'm saying? It's there.
Yeah.
But I see church as such a small point. Like you're talking about. If you going home and acting crazy, what's church? What's the point? But if we living righteously at home, then we take our
spreading the righteousness
to church.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I was just a youngin' and I didn't relate to nothing. They talking about going to the clubs and sinning and all that. I'm going to school and I'm doing homework. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
You needed children's church.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
but that's what the white church had too.
That's true.
Yeah.
They had a youth
My bad.
ministers.
I didn't mean to cut you
I'm
off
sorry,
from your
yeah.
transition and your pitch.
No, you're good, man. You know, so
Right. So what is this? What are we saying?
so
It's not a heated conversation.
where's the positive? Oh, we're still talking about church.
No.
Oh, okay. Where's the positives? Like,
Oh, okay.
what positive fears like from childhood? Like, I know me and you kind of we go back and forth on the staying the night at a friend's house. What age is that appropriate and stuff like that? Whether it's a boy or a girl.
Yeah, so like when is casting fears upon your child positive, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we were in the car the other day, and we were just kind of talking about this topic, and I'm like, I literally will like pick up my kids from school, or I'll pick Kai up from school, and Khalil's been with me all day, and I'll like put the key in the door, and I'm like, if somebody just tries to kidnap my kids,
Right.
and like I never see them again,
Yeah.
but they're safe, they're with me, like completely safe. They've been with me. I have Kai, like we're going in the house. We're probably not leaving for the rest of the day. We're going to do our evening routine. And I'm like, I think about that stuff. And one reason I feel like it's always on my mind is because I do have boys, and because boys are often overlooked. I feel like I sometimes overcorrect.
Mm-hmm.
So in that situation, I'm like, they wouldn't go outside by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they're like 2 and 3 years old.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. But then we have like I don't want to say, this is going to sound mean.
It's all right. Cook up. It's clear vision. Hey.
Yeah. So we have a weird neighbor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he often approaches me randomly. Doesn't even say hello. It's not like, hey neighbor, how you doing? Okay. It's more like, yeah, so on Tuesday, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And so like I'm like, it
worries you too.
Yeah, that worries.
He's like a vet. He's like a vet, but you could tell.
I think I'm pretty sure he's a sweet person.
Yeah, you can tell.
I was gonna say, but I know Eli, you be at work, so just give me a call.
Let me know. I'm
I'm
closer.
pretty sure like
And I got, I got.
Wait a second. Wait a second.
No, but yeah. So like, I'm like, I think about that. I'm like, in the kids' playroom, they have this window, and like they often let up the blinds, but he's always like outside, like doing random. I'm like, make sure you guys are keeping the window down. You know, like
Yeah.
you don't need to. And then the kids run around naked. I'm like, I don't know this guy.
Yeah.
You know, like so, and like those are just like little. Like small, like everyday fears. Yeah, like
for
that
safety.
And
that I definitely think of.
Yeah.
But like as far as like I said, like I feel like sometimes boys are often overlooked as far as safety goes. Like we think that because they're boys, they just go out and
be all right.
they're gonna be okay. And so I fear for that for my boys, just because I do know that just because they're boys, that doesn't mean nothing's gonna happen to them.
Yeah. And they could be more of a target because if majority of people feel like that, they wouldn't keep them as safe as a little girl. So that's real.
So I feel just like my mom did me. Like we're not going over people's houses. Like grandma, that's fine. Great grandma, that's cool. I know you're safe there, right?
Yeah.
But like friends and like
just drop them off everywhere.
Yeah, no, we gotta know everybody. You gotta know the big brothers whoever friend is there.
Right.
The
Do they have their dad?
That's
Believe it or not, I think about this. I'm like, okay, is their dad there? I don't know this dude. Are they safe? You know, like it sounds crazy, but
It's not crazy.
How does he treat his daughter?
My mom and dad moved the same way with us. They didn't play.
Yeah, my pops was real selective too.
Well, what it was, my mom and dad didn't hide us from the world. Like they just would let us know like how evil it can be. My mom would she didn't play with us, pulling up in different places, and even when we started getting older and like we were, when it came to sex, my mom was like, hey, this is the real STDs. She laid them all out for us. Babies. She showed us examples of her friends that was having babies at 16, 15. Like, this is her life. This is what happened. Like, you do have to, operating out of fear is healthy. Yeah. Because the world is scary.
Yeah.
So when you leave my house,
you should be afraid of something.
You can't be walking around like you a superhuman.
Yeah.
You'll die or go to jail. Like, it's real out here.
That's interesting, bro. I'm trying to think back, like, my pops. I never was really
exposed.
I'm aware.
Right.
You know, my dad didn't come from a great area. I grew up in not so good of an area. But at the same time.
Was you in the East?
Okay. Garden Oaks. And so, y'all know that Family Dollar right there on 23rd?
Yeah.
Martin Luther King?
Yeah, man.
I still remember till this day.
Yeah.
I was in there with my pops. He said, hey, go look for this for me. I went and go look. I swear I'm probably like 7, 8. And I turn around, that nigga gone. I'm walking through all the aisles, he gone. I didn't cry. I just walked up. I was like, hey, I can't find my dad.
Right.
It was like, well, you got his number? I said, yeah. And oh no, I said, can I call him?
Mm-hmm.
And my dad, he was just in the parking lot. He was like, good job. Yeah. I left you on purpose. I think.
I like that. I'm trying that.
Like, that's what he told me, at least. Jaws would kill me. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Jaws would kill me.
But he said that's what you need to do. Yeah. He said you need to find somebody.
Find a way.
And give me a call. Mm-hmm. Or he always told me somebody, he said if somebody try to grab you, just come dead weight and scream. Yeah. He said, if somebody is doing that in the store, somebody gonna ask a question.
Yeah.
But like, he never really, I don't know, he was like again, I grew up, your mom showed you these examples. Your mom raised you as well. Your mom raised you. He kind of was just like, and his wife at the time, she was more like, she had a masculine mentality in a sense. Mm-hmm. And so like, my mom, now on the other hand, my mom was like, call me every time you go somewhere new, where you at on the way. But my foundation with my dad was already set. Like, one time I called my dad at like 11. I was like, hey, I'm still hooping. Just let you know. I don't care. That's what he told me. He said, man, I don't care. And so it was kind of like,
tripping.
Yeah. You know, so I kind of got a different perspective with that.
Sense of why
I'm not oblivious to the world still. Yeah. But there's also things I'm not really
scared of,
worried about. Mm-hmm. Even like, because me and Carrie was walking around the neighborhood, and there was a little boy walking by himself. She's like, see, I would have to drive and just pull up on him and make sure. I'm like, why? You know, because in my mind, I'm like,
how old?
I don't know. It's probably like 8, 9.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was
I
like,
don't know if I let my nigga just walk the streets by himself. Was he by himself?
At 8, 9?
By himself?
you see, that's
gotta
where
be
we
with a
get.
group
In
or
his
somebody.
neighborhood.
That's where we get into
We was
that.
raised different, though.
But that's where we get in a conversation about like raising
different.
out of fear, parenting out of fear. Like, I don't know. I'm also that person that believes you attract what
You gotta
what
let your
think.
kids fail too. You do have to
Not
let your
get
kids
smashed.
fail. And, what?
But what's
I'm saying not get like snatched.
but how can you
Oh, I thought he said
it's
smashed.
not about that. But how do we prepare
That
him?
too, though.
So
Gee, that's aggressive.
how do
bro.
we prepare him though?
Right.
Is he walking around? Does he know any
Right.
type of martial art? Does
How to
he
get
does
back
he have
home?
mace?
And I
Does
think
he know how to box?
yeah.
Does he have?
And I think
Does
there's
he know
a right
that
way to do
the
it.
that you get kicked in the balls is gonna hurt regardless of how old or young you are? You know what I'm saying?
I hear that.
It's like, are they? My dad prepared me.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
Instead of kind of being sheltered,
Yeah, maybe,
like I
yeah.
could see how it might have been if I grew up with my mom.
Yeah.
Because you can't baby them forever. And
That's true.
that's the thing I was with, me and John's going back and forth with is like, I think at a certain age, it's okay for them to go to their friend's house. Like, if I know their parents and then we know them, they go to the same school, whatever, I'm fine with them going to their friend's house. Now,
No, don't stay the night.
staying the night and stuff like that, man, you
That's
might
my
not
dad,
do that
bro.
until like middle school or like maybe in 8th grade.
My
or
dad
whatever.
didn't let us stay the
Yeah,
night,
yeah,
bro.
I know, yeah. But
I mean, you was able to stay at ours. I think I was able to stay at yours.
Yeah, like folks. For
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but
That's what it
there's
takes.
those things where it's like, you can't. You're not gonna be able to protect them forever anyway.
that's real.
But you do have a job to like when they're at a certain age, they can't be just out willy nilly with anybody.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Let's get to our conclusions though. So, parenting out of
Fear.
Good and
fear.
bad.
What do you think, Eli? You can answer this. I know you haven't been able to say too much. Parenting out of fear. What do you think? What do you think is our solution? Is there a solution? Is there something that we should do different? Maybe.
Yeah, I think there's a balance. There's a balance to expressing your fears to your child and also making sure that that's not the only thing that they hear. You know what I mean?
Or the world is going to be a scary place.
Or the world's going to be a scary place.
Terrifying.
Because to be honest, 90% of the people in the regular public, I think it's like 5% people do cry. You know what I mean? So there's a huge percent of good people, normal people out there.
Yeah.
So we don't want to scare our kids from even exploring. You know what I mean? That can stay with them until they're.
That's
Some
right.
people
Talking
never
about
leave their
trauma.
town. You know what I mean? Some people never
that's
leave. When we were in Houston, some people never left Bissonnette. You know what I mean? Some people never left Humble. You know what I mean? Just because of just
Fear.
certain things and fear. The world
right.
is dangerous. So I think there's a balance to it, but you also don't want to blanket your child, but you do want to protect them. And go ahead.
And I'm so sorry about that, because what you're saying it's a big part of what's wrong with the world right now is because people don't see the other side of the world, right? Yeah. So they see juice and they think if you go to that neighborhood, you're gonna get
blasted.
And so what does that translate to? Those kids that think that if they go to that neighborhood, they're gonna get got, and they become police officers, and now they have to work in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
And now they own.
And now they
ready.
acting. Now they acting like
Absolutely.
they're in a war zone right now.
Yeah.
When everybody that used to live here don't even live here. It's all old people now,
Right.
or
and good people.
good
Yeah.
people.
You wouldn't even
You know
know.
what I'm saying?
That's real.
That's why I know that did Ice Cube do Friday? Ice Cube did Friday, but he wanted to show like
The good side
the
of
good
it.
side of the hood
Yeah.
too.
Even though there was problems in there, but
It was fun.
like I said, they had a problem with one person out of the entire hood. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? So like that's the reality. That's the true reality of it. Even with racism, even with just anything as far as dangers.
We got
Times have changed.
We got to see the world.
Yeah, you got to see the world as it is, and we can't scare our kids from becoming their best them. You know what I mean? So
That's real.
Hey, Joss, what do you think? What
Um,
is your conclusion of this conversation?
I'm guessing that 'cause I'm talking to a bunch of dads, so like you guys, you guys definitely have like, you guys definitely have that like that kind of they'll be all right, but like as a mom, like you just
to hold them forever.
yeah,
It's
And,
that
like,
balance though.
yeah,
that's
it's like
needed.
so. My mom was like super real with me, like within like a respectful manner. Because like my mom, like I told you, like she grew up rough, so there's a lot of things that she knew about just from having to grow up really on her own that she just didn't want us going through. So she might not have explained it the best, but she'll let you know, like, no, like this is really why I don't let you do these things, because people are crazy. And because growing up in the hood is such a wild experience, it almost distorts your view of the world.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, where a normal person would look both ways before they cross the street, you know, someone that grows up in the hood, they might have to look both ways and check behind them, you know? So, like, it's just one of those things. And I think carrying over into my parenting, I still kind of, like, check behind you, too.
So was your mom raised, like, single mom, too? Or is it two-parent?
Well, my mom, she'd actually have to come on the show and tell her own story.
It wasn't even that.
So, my mom had a crazy experience.
I think, oh my bad. I think even if, because we know we always mention like we say, my mom, for me, my mom had to be tough because we didn't have our dad. You know, she had to be that. I think Jozz's mom would have been that tough parent, even if her dad, you know, was if they were together. You know, I think her dad is kind of the softer personality in that regard. But
oh no, my dad's a fool.
Well,
like,
I'm just saying.
I don't think I would have had a chance.
He's more of like he's not the same. He's not the same as your mom though. It's like the just the straight toughness.
But I still think that balance. And we're moving to a different world, bro.
Yeah,
we're living in a time now where two-parent households is like. Yeah. I know it's always been the standard, but now it's like we're not going for that other shit now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be here, you gonna be there, you gonna be there, right? Regardless. And again, I don't know too much about your past situation or your mom's situation, but I think, you know, we talk about trauma. That's a generational thing, right? So like something you worrying about is something your grandma probably was worrying about. You know what I'm saying? Like for you too.
My grandma, my grandma was paranoid for the entire city. Like she had enough. She was just, pedophiles. I was so scared. Grandma had me scared of white old men because like she would have the pedophile list. Oh, of Forest Park. Yeah, but the list. I'm aware. I am aware. But definitely, my grandma, she was a worrier.
But you see what I'm saying? That balance is going to give our kids a different perspective than our grandparents had. You know what I'm saying?
And two perspectives are better than one.
For
always.
Sure.
Always.
And then the way of getting across, like, for example, it was a minor thing, but your eyes, that topic Trevin brought up, it was a heated conversation. It was worth the heated conversation. And to Eli, it was worth it different. And so, like, the stuff that a single parent might say is they need that other perspective to kind of balance it out.
And nerfs different things.
Because I'm telling Kai it's normal. It's okay. He'll get back on the track. And the Joz is also... Maybe it's heated, but she's letting Kai know the importance. She's not wrong about it either. She ain't wrong. She's letting them know the importance. She's like, because hell is real. Hell is real. It's hot. Ain't no Kool-Aid juices in hell. Okay? You know, it's needed though too as well. The importance of why, you know.
But getting it across the delivery, like you said, your mom, she could have said a lot of stuff just different. Not that she was wrong. Like it is 5 apples, and you should know, how many apples is left. But it's just.
I think that situation would be different with your dad. It's just,
I don't know, man. Like, I don't know.
All right.
Go ahead, Trevor.
Man, I agree with what y'all said. I'm not going to reiterate it.
Praise God.
Beautiful topic.
I love y'all, man. Hey, we don't have a hot topic today. I was prepared. Obviously.
It's all good. I feel like
I'm sorry,
camera. I feel cheated.
The hot topic is like a different, was something that's going on. Like
hot culture,
the Jada thing last week. Hot topic.
What's hot right now? What's hot right now?
What's hot right now? You got a hot topic?
Give us 5 minutes.
It's on us. It's on us. It's not put on.
Yeah. Okay. Yo, I have been tapped out.
We messed up. We screwed you.
I have been tapped out of.
I know
everything. So I don't.
I feel cheated. And you guys are like, so what are you gonna do? I'm like,
no. Hey, Trevor, where can they find us at, brother?
Here at YouTube. Be sure to subscribe. I'm sorry, I thought I had my own camera. Be sure to subscribe. Leave a comment. All podcast stores, we are there. So just tune in. Put somebody on.
There we go. Eli, bro.
Yes, sir.
What should they ask us in our inbox?
Hey, man. these listen letters, man. Give us an example of.
Still ain't got one, huh?
Still ain't got one. You know, we need to get those listen letters in. We might have one. Did you check the email?
Let me check, bro.
Well, while he's checking, man, clearvisionpod@gmail.com. Let us know if you have any examples of how you were parented out of fear, or if you're still parenting out of fear, you know, with your own kids. Just share your story. Talk to us. Let us know again about the eye. Should this be called the eye for our visitors that do step in?
Welcome to the eye.
Welcome to the eye. Who knows, man? I like that. So clearvisionpod@gmail.com. Hit us up. Let us know.
We ain't got no listen letter.
All right. It's all right.
But also make sure y'all follow us on Instagram @ClearVisionPod. DM us on there. We ain't got no TikTok still, but we're working on it, y'all. We working, man. Visionaries, I'm sorry for the camera. The format changed.
It's all good.
The format changed mid-pod.
It's the way God wanted it to be today.
Come on. There we go. Come on now. BJ, we miss you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, I would have been interested about his takes on this as well. But guys, man, I appreciate you.
Thank you so much for coming
the
on.
Queen, what'd you call it? Jaws
in the house.
Jaws in the house.
I think
like
that might be the
nickname.
thing. When you come to the eye,
Jaws in the house.
I like that.
I vote yes.
Yes.
I like it.
I guess so.
But I appreciate you coming on and
Come back,
bringing
please.
your woman perspective, which we need.
and it feels so good in here with that. It's just softer in here. Not so
does.
damn
That's
yeah,
good.
you guys be tripping sometimes. Like, y'all be saying some wild stuff. I'm like, it's just a room full of dudes.
And it's that
some
energy
crazy
because
stuff.
it's because the masculine it's all just like
You gotta
Jesus.
one up.
Locker room.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I feel like you
one-up.
guys just like try to go from like one to the next.
Yeah, it's like first take, like a debate sometimes. It's like relax. Just appreciate the relax. It's kind of like a good soothing tone.
Eli, you better be careful with your
I
position,
think we
man.
do a great job, man. Good job, fellas. I think we be right.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. All right. Thank y'all for tuning in. We love y'all. Peace.
Peace out.
This has its own magic.